welcome back to Bengali Girl. This is your podcast host, Nikita, and I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm so sorry that I've been away for this long. And I know a lot of you were expecting 26 things that I've learned that have changed my life part 3 from, my birthday special episode. However, it was nearing October and a couple of things happened. Soundtrap completely let me down where I've lost that episode. It didn't get saved in the cloud, unfortunately. And the second thing was October 7th happened and there was this attack that led to a genocide, or is still happening, unfortunately, I was not in that right state of mind because, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to this, we felt guilty, this guilty conscience of, being okay, being safe, witnessing all of this torture, this dying, this killing happening, and the comfort of our own home. And this is something that I was battling with, especially because Akib and I, my husband and I, we were planning our wedding events that we've already booked out long before October happened, as wedding things happen in Bangladesh way in advance. And we were having to plan this and knowing in the back of my mind that this is happening, and it was just not the right headspace that I was at because I'm a very empathetic person, so everything affects me in a way. But yeah, that's my reasons for why I took such a long break from this podcast, but I'm hoping to get back to it. I have a couple of few exciting episodes planned, some with my girlfriends, of course with my husband as well, because there will be a special episode that will come out. But this episode that I am releasing is essentially me getting back, talking about my headspace, but also the wedding rant. I feel like I deserve an episode where I can just rant about the wedding stuff. I would say the first thing would be the dire expectations from other people. If you are a bride-to-be, then I would just say set expectations that a lot of people will disappoint you. And it might not happen, but it's just good to be prepared mentally for that. For my wedding, I think the biggest letdown ever was that people just did not care, I think, to be honest. And I was not prepared for that. Growing up, I did not have any siblings do a grand wedding. That's a story for another day, or it's not even my story to say. But there was no grand wedding where I would understand how it all works or prepare myself for, the emotional turmoil that a bride has to go through. And the dynamics in my family is such that everyone is aware of my hyper independence that I very much granted myself since moving away, which was a catch-22 situation for me because yes, I love the fact that every aspect of my wedding, had our personal touch or meaning to it. However, it also meant that we had to do majority of the work. And because of that, I'm glad that our act or nikah, has happened way before these major events happened because it did prepare me mentally to not rely on a few people. But before I go into all of those dramatics, I would like to say that my biggest 2 supporters throughout this wedding was definitely my mom and my father-in-law, because these 2 people went out of their way, to do site visits, to speak with me about my vision, to speak with the decor team on my behalf, share my vision with them, but also ensure that the India shopping trip happened. I can confirm that Akib feels the same way, but we both are so grateful to them for helping us make such beautiful memories. Now, let's move to the dramatics. Now, I am the last one in my friend group to get married. So I suppose that did entail the fact my friends were just too busy to accommodate me. And as sad as it sounds now, I completely understand why. because married and living or even visiting Dhaka at that time, it's not easy, especially because it was the wedding season. It's like a full-time job because you have to tackle spending time between your parents' house and your in-laws' house, but also ensure that you attend all these dawats, have perfect outfits and stuff, and managing all that is a lot. There were moments where I did not understand because I felt like from my end, I became so accommodating that people started taking advantage of that. Like my friend or my family group started taking advantage of that, where they would give me these excuses, or not even excuses, they would just not respond, thinking that I'll be fine. And I think it's just these little things. When you are a bride or when you are planning your wedding, I feel like you become a bit sensitive because this is a very big step for you. Even though you're married and you're planning these events and whatever, it's a very big step, a very big event in your life. You're getting married or you're having these events for your wedding. And being sensitive is justified. I strongly disagree with people when they say that, you just don't care. No, you are supposed to care. This is a big major event in your life. And of course, you will have other major events to think about, but this is a major one. And you want to enjoy it, and you want people to enjoy it with you. You want people to celebrate you guys. You want people to, just be there. And I think that because I was a bit like that, a lot of the things made me unhappy because my family members, or there were a few family members who went all out for their friends, but did not show up for mine, or like they showed up but like didn't make an effort. And I think those are the few things that really hurt me, because it just makes you evaluate your relationship or your friendship with those people, right? I know that sorry for so many words, but it's just me being emotional right now because I'm reliving those moments again where there were certain times that I wish that people would just do this for me and it didn't happen, or they purposefully didn't do it. And you might think, listening to this, how do you know it purposely didn't happen? Because I saw it happening for other people. For example, I'm not going to name names or anything. Let's name this person Shapla. Okay, just let's name this person Shapla, right? And it's my wedding and Shapla is supposed to be involved because of the relationship that I have with Shapla. And Shapla does not do that because Shapla says that she's busy. Shapla says that, she's going through a lot. Shapla tries to be involved in a very nonchalant way. And you think, okay, yeah, maybe it makes sense, Shapla might be going through all this. But then Shapla has a friend also that and this person, the Shapla's friend, let's call that person Mary. I don't know. Just don't judge me for the names, okay? These are the things that are popping in my head. So Shapla has a friend, Mary, that you know as well. And this Mary person is getting married. Sorry, it just sounds ridiculous right now that I'm speaking it out. But like, Shapla has a friend, Mary. Mary's getting married around the same time that you are as well. And you see Shapla doing everything, like, making all these emotional moments, dancing at her event in a way that, Shapla didn't do it for you. Shapla didn't dance, or even if Shapla did, she did not take the initiative to help you. Now, this Shapla person is not just one person in my wedding. This is a couple of people. So I'm trying to mix up all of these attributes to one person. So either Shapla did in a very nonchalant way, did it for your wedding, did not really care, and you could feel that she did not care. And it made you sad because Shapla and your relationship goes way deeper than that other relationship with Mary. So yeah, it hurts you. And just a note again that Shapla is multiple people and Mary is also multiple people. It applies to multiple people in my life that have done this to me. And you might think, oh my God, Nikita, you went through a lot. Yes, girl, I did. I did go through a lot for these wedding events. I have canceled out a lot of people from my life after this, because you realize that if they cannot be happy for you in these moments, then they're not really the type of people you should surround yourself with. And I'm so glad I did this. There are very, very long friendships, very, very long relationships with family members that I have now cut out of my life. And I'm glad I did. I am super glad I did, because now I feel like I'm surrounded by people who would genuinely, for now, I don't know about the future, but for now would genuinely be happy to celebrate me, to be with me, appreciate me. And I'm glad that I have these people around and I'm grateful for them, you know. But moving on. Another thing was emotionally, alhamdulillah, nothing major happened that would have been a blocker for our wedding events. So we had 2 events, much to the dismay of our parents, first of all, because they wanted more. But we had 2 events. We had a big Holud event and we had a big reception event. Because we had these 2 events, our parents were not really happy, because they wanted us to do like, you know, a mehndi. They wanted us to do like 2 holuds instead of 1. They wanted us to like do a dala exchange. Akib and I are very private people in these matters, and it might sound surprising because I'm so, you know, chronically online all the time about everything in my life. But yes, there are a few things that we are private about, because especially when it comes to our relationship and our moments with our family, what we have, we know is a treasure, and we both are shy, to be honest. It was really uncomfortable dealing with so many people at these events. So we know that we would have probably died out of the pressure if we had more events. But coming back to the point, nothing major happened in the events or even the days leading up to the event. So by major, I mean our decor team were amazing, the venue team were amazing, our parents and relatives' health was good as well. But just having like this emotional pressure and even stress that everything relied on me in a way was so great that the day before our Holud event, I had a panic attack. And this was the first ever attack that my mom or my sister witnessed. So let me talk you through that situation, right? So my family is aware of my anxiety issues. They don't understand it well, but they're aware. They call it austere. They say that, oh, Nikita gets austere very easily. Yeah. So our whole event was on the 27th of December, and I woke up on the 26th with this weird anxious feeling where I was just feeling airy. My heartbeat was not stable at all. I did not have like a moment's break because I had so many appointments on that day. But what I did, as soon as I woke up, I walked to my sister's room and I declared there that I'm going to reschedule everything, cancel anything that's necessary because I need to focus on my health first. And this was a big step because for me, I hate letting people down. I hate canceling stuff, but I'm slowly, and it's been in the works for years now, slowly trying to build up the courage to like put myself first, put my health first. So she was aware in the morning that I'm anxious. And even while speaking to her about like, I'm going to cancel, I started tearing up for no reason. And I think probably it was because, I have to cancel everything and I was feeling anxious and have to have those conversations because in Bangladesh, nothing is done over text or like online. You have to call these people and tell them you want to cancel. So my anxiety and then calling people and my social anxiety was like, it was a very bad combination. So another thing was Holud rehearsals were happening at my parents' house where we were staying. And my friends, family, people started coming in for the rehearsals. And because it was so overwhelming. It was so many people coming in. The house was, of course, buzzing. My mom was like yelling from the kitchen for like snacks to be brought out to the guests who came in. My dad was coming in asking for help with his outfit. My nieces, my nephews are all kids, and so they're all running around. It was just so overwhelming for me because I had anxiety like from the morning. I ran into my sister's room and sat on the bed, and as soon as I sat down, my right leg just started shaking and I couldn't breathe, and I started bawling my eyes out. So my sister came in and she saw me trying to like focus on my breathing and talk to myself, try to pacify myself in a way. And being a Desi sister or being a Desi person, she opted for jokes. So she started joking around, which did not make it right at all, but no blame to her because she never faced this, right? My mom walked in because everyone was here and I was kind of leading the rehearsal since it started, and I was not there with the guests, and she came in and my sister jumped up and went to her and she's like, Nikita, kintu anxiety আছে সকাল থেকে, or just anxiety হচ্ছে. So what she said is Nikita has anxiety from the morning and she is just going through anxiety right now. And my mom is like, okay. She came in, she tried comforting me and she hugged me tight, and it was so overwhelming when she did that because I never really showed a panic attack to my parents. When I used to live with them and I got these attacks, I would just go to the washroom and pacify myself there and just stay in the washroom till I was okay, or I felt like I was okay. So they never saw me go through that. I don't remember, I think other than Akib and this other friend of mine, no one really saw me go through a panic attack because I just conceal it so well. And I think it's because I don't want to inconvenience other people or make them uncomfortable. And it's just how I am, okay? It's just me. It might not be the right thing to do. It might be better for me to do it in front of people so that they're educated about it. But it was just how I am. And my mom being there and hugging me and comforting me was just too much. And I started crying more because I was so confused on how my body should react and how it's reacting and all that. But it was like, I think 5 minutes and she was still being there for me. And my mom was like, okay, I don't think I can fix it, which I'm glad she moved away because it was getting overwhelming with her being there, only because of what I just told you earlier of me just, concealing it so well. So after like 5 minutes had passed when my mom was like hugging me and she was like comforting me, she then asked my sister to go find Akib. And then once he came in, of course, he understood what was going on. He immediately came over to me and just started patting me and telling me to focus on my breathing. And mom was like, "Hey, tumi or khayal rakho, because tumi jano eta kemne thik korte hoy." I can't say it. I don't know how to say it in English to make it sound like exactly what she said. But she said that to take care of me because he knew how to, which he did, of course. And bless him, because if he didn't come in, I think I would have been in that room for like solid 2 hours because it was just too much. But I think it was good. Or I guess I needed to get it out of my system because over the next few days I was calm and I did not have any more anxiety attacks or anything because it was okay. It was fine. I just didn't care much about anything. And unfortunately there were moments during the events that I did lose my cool because I am very expressive, much to the horror of my husband sometimes. But I guess it all went well in that way. Other than me cutting people off that I never in my 1,000 years thought I would cut them off, but I did. And I'm also glad that they were not as involved because then I don't have to explain to my kids in the future of why this person is in every picture, but you don't talk to this person anymore. So I'm glad that this has happened in a way. But yeah. I think the second thing that I definitely want to rant about is this feeling of, why does everyone care whose wedding was better? There's this entire feeling, this entire thing that you get, or I got, from people trying to prove that their wedding was more fun because there were a lot more people involved, or, their wedding was more fun because of what a XYZ reason, this happened, that happened. I think a wedding event should be very personal. It should mean something to you rather than what it means to other people. Sorry if there's background noise. I'm just shifting in my seat right now and becoming comfortable. However, I just think it's such a dick measuring competition nowadays that, I had this in my wedding. What did you have? It feels like that dance kind of competition, that people need to go out and ensure that they had more fun. For me, this wedding process was more like making memories that I would actually care about in like 25 years when or like in the next 50 years or 50 years later when I'm in my old rocking chair. I will care about that. I had this special moment with my husband. Instead of having so many people around, the wedding for me was between myself and my husband. If we both had fun together, that meant more. That was more special to me than other people enjoying the wedding. They will enjoy regardless, okay? If you bring in, let's say, 20 Bengali people to a party, and you have food, and you have songs, and you have like a few games, it's fine. They're gonna manage and have fun and do whatever they want to do, or sit in a corner and gossip. This is how Bengali people would. And this is for every kind of person. It's not just Bengali people. I'm just talking about Bengali people because I have more experience dealing with them. But for me, in 50 years, I'm not going to care if Shapla, for example, had fun at my wedding. I'm not going to care about that. I'm going to care if I had fun. I'm not going to care if I have enough wedding favors for everyone, all that crap. No, you're not. So if you are a bride-to-be, I would insist on creating memories for yourself, for your husband or your partner. I would insist on ensuring that you guys are okay. And that was like my number one priority, because I don't want to remember any aspect of this wedding where Akib and I had like major disagreements or we hated each other for a moment. And of course there will be such moments because you are both stressed, but I feel like work through it and that becomes a memory on its own. That becomes memorable on its own, I did not go for anything fancy. I think the only things fancy was the reception outfits. My sari or shari was from Sabia that my husband graciously gifted because it was a dream of mine to wear Sabia at my wedding. And he helped bring that to fruition. So I'm really, really blessed that my husband in a way paid for that entire sari by himself. Shari, please, Bengali people, don't get offended. It's just the same thing, okay? I'm saying this also because, sometimes I say sari, sometimes I say shari. It just depends on the context. And people sometimes get offended because I'm Bengali and I'm not saying shari, I'm saying sari. It's okay. It's a word. Get over it. But anyways, I'm very grateful that Akib, funded to bring my Sabia dreams true, and him paying for that outfit was more special than Sabia. And this was a very big thing for me because I always thought I'm very materialistic in a way. Because of my upbringing where my parents just threw money or gifts at us when we were upset to make everything fine. So I thought I was very materialistic, and I thought me getting the Sabia sari also is me being materialistic. But the emotional part to it was him paying for it instead of his parents. My husband has ensured that most of my things are bought by him because it's just this thing that he felt like he should, because I'm his wife, and I ensured I did the same for him as well. So everything that he has, or I, at the wedding or whatever, was bought by me because I wanted that feeling that, we are buying this for each other. It's like a gift. We did not have Dala sessions this time around. We did it for our ACT time because we just didn't know what to do. And our parents were like, yeah, this is what happens traditionally, So we went ahead and did a Dala exchange. But for this time around, we didn't, because we realized that, yes, we are buying each other all these expensive things, these designer shit, this branded stuff, the Sabya sari, the Omega watch, and all of that. However, we will be spending more money into making this into a Dala and making it presentable. And then you go to someone's house and then, you have to transport all of this. So you have to pay for that transport because, nowadays the outfits are done in mannequins and stuff. And you have to do all of that crap. And that just felt excess to us. We just thought that was a cost that was unnecessary because we are buying everything in India or here in Australia, and we don't really need to do that Dala exchange. That's just ridiculous to us, because why spend money on these boxes, this design and stuff, when you could just have a dinner with your family. Of course, we'll have that celebration. We've been having non-stop dawats, going to each other's houses or to our relatives' houses and stuff. So this Dala exchange thing felt very unnecessary. We did it for our ACT, and after that, we both realized that, that's not us. We don't need to show off what we're giving each other. We don't need to show off what brand or designer stuff we are giving each other. We don't. And I'm glad we made the decision because we did save money, okay? Nowadays, okay, I just took a quote because this was back before we came to this conclusion that we're not going to do the Dala exchange. Before this, we were thinking about it because we did it for our ACT. Of course, we have gifts. So we're like, okay, you know what? Let's see how much it would cost. And we went. And this person... Okay, let me try to find the SMS. Hold on. Okay, I found the package stuff. So for bridal lehenga, for bridal Dala, the starting package starts from 45,000 taka. 45,000 taka. And that's just painted Dala. If you want to have velvet, it's 5,000 add-on, so 50,000. If you want to have a custom print, it's 8,000 add-on. So 45,000 plus 8,000 gives you 53,000. So 53,000, what do you get? Let me tell you. You get 3 main event outfit stands. You get 1 extra outfit Dala. So if there's shari and stuff. 1 family gift Dala. Who has 1 family? Member gift Dala. You know what I mean? There will be so many people you need to give Dalas to, or the gifts to. So it won't fit. But anyways, 1 perfume and toiletries Dala in a glass box, 1 shoes and bags Dala, 1 relative gift Dala. Who has 1 relative? 1 fruits Dala and 1 sweets Dala. All of this in 45,000 for the bridal one. So it has a ridiculous amount of money, first of all, okay? The groom's one, or this, they call this package the groom's Dala, is even more ridiculous. It is 70,000. Honey, it's 70,000. It's velvet or custom print. And they give you this one, same thing. You get your 3 main event outfits with wrought iron structure. Because, I'm going to hang this by in this way forever. It's just stupid. The premium package for bridal is 75,000. Okay. Because it has an additional jewelry Dala. And 1 additional shoes and bag Dala and snacks Dala. What? They have ACT package too. They have a cheaper option. If you're just doing ACT, it's 55,000. How is that cheaper? Okay, how is it cheaper? The wedding dala is like 5,000 per box. These are like your custom card boxes and stuff. If you want like cutouts, wooden cutout dala package. So if it's made out of wood, my friend, it's 95,000. Same things that they'll give you, 95,000. I am sorry. So I'm spending over 2 lakhs on my sabya sari. I'm spending over 50,000 or whatever for my shoes and all that. And then I will pay around 45,000. That's the cheapest that they have. This company that I'm not going to name, but this company, the cheapest they have is 45,000. This is a well-known company in Bangladesh for dollars. 45,000 for you to arrange the gifts in a way. I'm sorry, that's not necessary. When did this extra show-off thing? That's what I mean, this show-off thing, because you have to show your outfits off in such a way. I am so upset. I'm so mad. So yeah, sorry, I had a little bit of a mini breakdown or a mental meltdown back then, because this just brought back the unnecessary extra costing that these people are doing. So of course we didn't go for the dollar thing, but my thing was I want really nice wedding invitation cards that are potentially would be useful to our guests in the future as well. If I give them paper, it's waste. They'll throw it out. If I give them those glass wedding cards, again, useless. They'll throw it out. So I wanted to do it in a box structure. So I will give them, mishti, and then there will be like the cards. If you want to see what it looks like, you can go to my Instagram, Nikita_TK. For this as well, I approached one well-known wedding card person. And the cost for each card, so I think I was getting around 100 or 110, because only a few people would get this. The rest would get Evites. So I wanted to get like 100 or 110. I don't really remember the number now. But I was quoted 1,500 per box. 1,000, if I'm not wrong. Let me also confirm that on the chat. 1,500 per box, and then it depends on what. Sorry, not 1,500. I just opened my messages. It's 1,600 per box. So 1,600 per box. If I make even 50 of them, it's 80,000. For me, I have that money. I'm not going to say my parents are like super broke or whatever. They are well off. However, spending 80,000 was ridiculous on just 50. That's 50 cards price. So if I get 100, that of course would be a lot more, right? So that would be 160,000. I went to a small company. Well, they are becoming big now, but they were a small company then. And I got it for like quarter of that cost. And this, of course, when you are a business owner, you know that you have to have like a value added to that, to like profit, to make profit, right? So this business owner, bless her heart, even with the profit that she would have made per card, was a lot cheaper than this well-known company. So it just makes you realize that as companies gain fame in Bangladesh, in the wedding industry, they will increase their prices accordingly. The markup will be 110% for sure. And this is just ridiculous that this is not being monitored. This is not being, checked about the pricing that they do, or how they come about this pricing for the wedding events. Because if I was some form of government over there, I would just check what's going on. A lot of people saying, oh, this is the creative prices. Honey, it's wood. You're making a dala out of wood. People make furniture for cheaper. Okay? You can make a whole ass bed cheaper. Trust me, you can. In Bangladesh, you can. Yes. And the markup is 110. And I would be like, okay, you know what? The workers are getting paid, blah, blah, blah. No. The workers are being paid bare minimum. How I know this? I spoke to one of them, the delivery person, owned completely by one of these high companies. I spoke to them because a friend of mine was getting married, had ordered cards from them. She hadn't had this conversation that you're having with me right now or you're listening to before. So she did this, and the delivery person came, and I was like, okay, so how much are you getting? Like, are you getting good money? Because what? He's getting paid way less than a driver in Dhaka would, and he's a delivery driver. It makes me so upset. It does, because there are people who work so hard and they're not being paid enough that they can afford a well-off life. I am glad, and I'm so glad that the people that I worked with on my wedding, I know exactly how well their workers are being treated, how well they're doing, how nicely priced they're doing given the work that they do. For example, I love my Hulud outfit so much because not only was the outfit amazing, fit perfect, whatever, my outfit was designed by the sweetest person ever. So if you're looking for someone who would work with you on your budget but still make you feel beautiful, and not make you feel like this, okay? So not make you feel like, sorry, I'm adjusting myself again, but like not make you feel like, oh, you're spending this much or you're spending that much, so you're exclusive and all that crap. No. Sabrina Jahangir. So her page is Kamash by Sabrina Jahangir. And I just love her work because she will work with you. She will understand your vision no matter how many sittings or meetings it would take. Her team's amazing, very responsive, very, very well priced. I was just like, hey, this is my budget and I am not going to go more than this budget at all. And they worked with this beautifully. So working with this, knowing also my photographers were not these big hi-fi companies, because hello, photographers per event minimum charge, if it's a well-known company, is like 85,000, or which is okay, I understand, but to jump from 85,000 to 1.5 lakhs, and you're using the same equipment, and the number of team members are less as well. Like, yes, price, art, creative things are expensive and whatever, but you have to tailor to the people you talk to. So now you're just saying that you, as a company who started off with small ass events, doing small events, are now only doing premium events for the 1% in Dhaka because they can afford your packages that are ridiculously priced at 1.5 to 3 lakhs per event. And if it's outside Dhaka, which is like maybe even 500 meters away from the border of Dhaka, you're charging like extra 1 lakh. People, I feel like this because I feel like there's this tremendous pressure on people to have everything premium, because that is unfortunately how our society is. But this is being taken advantage of by the wedding industry in Dhaka, by all these hi-fi vendors who have become viral for some reason or the other, have charged or marked their prices up based on this viral moment. Their work can be done by any person who's creative, who's in that industry. For example, There are so many designers that I went to in Dhaka to like just choose a kameez, because I never pack clothes from here because I know that there will be in Dhaka, right? So unfortunately, I didn't like anything that I had in my wardrobe. So I wanted to go and get a kameez. And I saw this kameez. It was a Georgette kameez, my friends. A Georgette kameez with minimum work. The price was 25,000 Dhaka. Georgette with minimum work. No work at all. No work. Oh my God, this still makes me so angry. How can you price? Okay, I get you're a brand. I get that. Okay? But how can you justify that price? When you go to Manish Malhotra, or when you go to Papa Don't Preach, right? That's a very startup or like starting up to get hyped, right? When you go to their store, you see the work. You see the amount of work they do on an outfit. And I'm saying see as in the thread work. You see that, you appreciate it, you're ready to spend money. In Bangladesh, it's just a brand name. Trust me when I say this, it's just a brand name. The thread work they do is not exclusive at all. It's nothing that's just exclusive to them. Manish Malhotra has very specific thread work. Sabya has very specific thread work. Papa Don't Preach has a very specific design, aesthetic, and thread work. Very, very couture. These are not couture. They are standard. Some are even bought. I know stores in Dhaka that bring their outfits from Chandni Chowk. And in Chandni Chowk, any outfit, I got like this lehenga that was heavily worked at 2,000 rupees. And that's being bought. And I saw the same thing. I'm not going to name the store, but I saw the same lehenga that I saw priced at 2,000 in Dhaka, priced at 85,000. Oh my God. What is going on with this industry? Like, how are people who are from, middle class families, how are they going to like have their dream wedding in Dhaka if they can't afford a trip to India where it's so much cheaper? In Chandni Chowk in Delhi, heavy work lehengas you get for cheaper, and these are brought to Dhaka and sold for 85,000. Yes, okay, you want to include the price of the import, the transport, whatever, you want to do all that, great, but how does it justify 85,000 Dhaka? So yeah, that was another rant that I had about outfits, and it's just really crazy how it's so expensive to have a wedding in Dhaka, and it's become such a dick measuring competition that, oh, I have this, what do you have? I have, Reminiscence as my photographer. Who do you have as your photographer? Please. I am going to stop because I am getting agitated, to be honest. So, my wedding rant was essentially this: the emotional turmoil and the cost. I think these are the two biggest things that any bride would go through when she's planning her wedding. So if you are, good luck. And if you've already had your wedding event, then I hope you can relate to some of this. I'm pretty sure you'll relate to the cost for sure. But that brings us to the end of this podcast episode. Thank you so much for listening. I am so grateful that you're listening and downloading, that we have crossed 1,000 downloads. And even though I was inactive, every week there were downloads of episodes happening. So I'm pretty sure people are discovering me even though I'm absent. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, and I am going to come back with a lot more exciting content this year. I promise. Bye.